Good YouTube, Yu-Gi-Oh vendor here comes to y'all with a deck profile. This is a fun one, but I made it a little bit more competitive. This is Evoltile, Evoltile. I played it years ago. I wanted to go back and revisit it with some power creep cards. You got to slow down the game, and that's the only way you're going to win with this deck. So access code, relinquish anima because you have some level ones. Same with Link Karibo. For the main Seeds is obviously Logi and Doka is what you're going to go in the most. I feel like they still powerful. Obviously, Dino isn't as strong as it used to be, mainly because of Mist being that one. It don't attack these cards because they dragon. But these are the cards you're going to go in the most. You want to control the board with Logi and Doka. Doka stops monster effects and it destroys them even if they're in hand, in field, or in graveyard. And Logi is basically Solemn Judgment. You can negate summons and spells and traps with it. I think these cards are two of. You don't want to use too many of them because Soda does come up because you need some cards. As you can see, it's the strongest one at 26. If you can't go into access code or Zeus, you got to be able to beat over the 2500 monsters or the 2400 monsters because they're too weak in attack sometimes and you can't get over them. So Soda does come up with the trap card I'll show later. And I think that matters. Same with Zeus. This card is powerful. Anytime you got a seed deck, you go into Zeus, it can wipe the whole field just by attacking with a sea monster. Downer allow you to add more material to it. A Dweller is good against tier and other decks that's rogue. And you can take this to a rogue tournament and win the whole thing. Tornado Dragon is just powerful for back row. And then obviously Babushka and Dugaris, just two staple cards in level 4 decks because they add the most value. The Garrets allow you to summon cards back from the graveyard, which comes up. It allows you to draw cards too. This deck has trouble drawing cards, and this card allows you to do that. And same with Babushka, it allows you to slow down the game. Sprite Elf comes in handy just because you do have cards that are level 2 or lower that you want to recur, that allow you to combo off later, and I'll show you in the deck. I like the Serato. I feel like it's the card that keeps you in games now. I think you have to play 3 in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Just because this card is the strongest monster, and usually decks can't get over a level 4 1900 monster, and if you summon it from deck, it get a boost. So I think that this card is one of the cards you want to see the most now if you play the deck currently, just because it sits on the field sometimes because they can't out it by attacking over it. Volcano. Some people play 3. I like 2 because you don't want to draw it. I never want to see this card by drawing it just because it can be bricky because it's too weak in attack and it doesn't really do anything when you summon it. You have to have multiple cards to make this card good unless it's in the deck. So I only play 2. Same with Diplo. You need destruction cards for back row, and I feel like they're important to the game still. I don't play 3 because you don't want to draw it either. It's stronger than Volcano, so you want to see it more, and it is some field spells and cards that you want to pop, but I'd rather see it in deck because I feel like that's when you get the best out of it. This one is one that people didn't play as much, but it's more needed now just because you have a lot of hands where you brick, and you can play through them now because of this card. It allows you to discard a card, then you can special summon one level 6 or lower fire monster that's a dinosaur from your deck. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target one dragon, a sea monster you control with no materials, and attach 2 reptile monsters or dinosaur monsters with different names from your hand and or graveyard to that monster as material. So usually your Logia losing material early because you're going to always find something to negate with it. That's the whole point of playing it. But when you activate its effect, it loses 2 materials. So this card allows you to recur and put materials back on it. Plus, it allows you to play out of bad hands. I still play the Westlow. I feel like the theory behind this is you rather play this than triple Najasho just because it's the same thing with the Serato. If they can't attack over it, it just sits. And then you can always combo off later. And then you can always flip it face back down if they can't kill it. And then you just gain a lot of advantage off of it. You can summon Serato, you can summon Diplo, you can summon Volcano. Then you can continue to play just because it's a flip effect. And this card, 19 defense, it sounds like it's not that much because we in a speed format. But once you see my back row, it just makes this card more powerful. The Yugioh, I only played two. It's not as powerful as it used to be, but it still allows you to gain a lot of advantage. It's kind of like a rescue rabbit type of thing. I like this one just because when this card is normal summon, you can send one Evolsaur monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then when it's flipped face up, you can special summon one Evoltile monster from your deck. So it just gives you good utility to get to the cards that you want, and the fact that it allows you to set up Volcano so you can summon two from the graveyard and then go into one. And I feel like this is just a good staple card just because, as you see, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can target one Evolsaur monster from your graveyard and special summon it. It's not the greatest card, but sometimes you do be in situations where you just need to gain some type of advantage. And this card is just one random card because if it's destroyed by battle and sent to the grave and you can trick your opponent, it's a slow card. But in this particular deck, it works. And then 3 Ash. Just still one of the staple hand traps. Evo 4 is still a powerful card with the Yugioh. It allows you to gain a lot of advantage even with Westlow. If it sits, you just turn it into a Volcano, and that turns you into a Yugioh Evoltile or any a seed, or it can even turn into a Zeus at worst. Triple Evil Diversity. I like it just because you can add one Evoltile or Evolsaur monster from your deck to your hand. It's powerful just because it allows you to add the card that you're missing so you can continue to play. Since this deck don't have great draw power, this card just allows you to get the cards that you need. Lightning Storm, I feel like you have to play it just because the deck can be slow. You don't want to lose the back row. You don't want to lose your Logia and Doka effects when you don't have to. So you just use cards like Lightning Storm, Book of Moon, just for protection, and just so you can flip your Westlows and your Lusatio face down again and get pluses off of them. Like I said, this is a grindy deck, and it is a rogue type of deck. The one of Monster Reborn, sometimes you want to reborn your Logia, your Doka, use the other one to put materials back on it. You want to reborn certain cards that can allow you to continue to play, and you just need monsters on board, and Monster Reborn does that. Same with 1-for-1. You have a lot of level 1, especially your best one I played 3 of, and you can summon him from deck and then continue to play or start your plays and have cards in graveyard already for Volcano. Call by the Grave, just a game card. It's just one of the best cards in the game. And then, of course, Impermanence slows the game down and lets you play at your tempo. Evenly, it's just a board clearer. Any deck that's control or slow, you want to evenly to stay in duels. And then Double Eye Dragon Prison, it just allows you to grind better, gets rid of cards in the graveyard and on field, and just takes advantage of, put your opponent at such a disadvantage that you can climb out of games or you can make the boards fair. I feel the same way about Evenly. And then Evil Singularity. You don't want to draw this too much because you have to have setup, and that's why you play cards like 1-for-1 and cards like that to get cards in the graveyard. Even the level 3, the level 1 this, you want cards in grave, so you can get Volcano off. And then even if you don't get Volcano off, you can use this to go into Logia, Doka, and Soda, just because it says you can target one Evoltile monster or Evolsaur monster in your graveyard and special summon one Evolsaur Exceed monster from your extra deck. And if you do attach those as materials, so it just allows you to go into a big, powerful monster that can control the board. You want to slow the game down. You want to make it play at your tempo, and you just want to grind out W's. So other than that, this is just a fun deck that I play. It's pretty cool. I got a DDD deck profile coming up next, so subscribe to see more deck profiles. And other than that, Quinn Wade, Yu-Gi-Oh! Vendor signing out.